Hey, Eskis, let's look at game two.
Set up a bird! Set up bird! 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 Let's go, guys! Bird! We're too close for Angel!
So over here, I kind of mentioned that we should be doing vert because we're too close for angel. So uh, when we are, let's say, when we're probably over here, what does it look like? Yeah, we're exactly at half field right there. So JP's picking up over there. We have we have a horizontal at the moment. It looks like we're trying to play our angel set. But the issue with Angel is that we're trying to throw it deep to clear it out. And if it's a turnover, it's cleared out. We're going to have our zone set up. But the key thing is when we run deep, we want space to run deep. We're always looking for space. If 7 is trying to cut here, that's not going to be very effective. Let's say I add a step and I say, Hors, we all go Angel, and the frisbee gets thrown, there's not much time. Like the frisbee and the players don't have much time to attack a space. So what we should be doing instead is being in a vert. We could stay in a horizontal. It doesn't matter too much. We could be three. This person should be back a little bit. We could still stay in this 3-4. We don't need three to come rushing over here. But when we're close to the end zone, horizontal doesn't work amazingly. Horizontal in general is better when we're far, and then by the time we get closer, it's usually worse and worse. So we get close to the end zone, and let's say we don't call a play. Oh, okay. Let's say we call pipeline. I want to show you all what's wrong with pipeline. So if 6 runs deep for the pipeline and 4 comes in, there's nowhere really for 6 to go going deep. It's often going to end up sailing out of bounds. So either 6 has to get hit in this far corner, which is really tough, or 6, the player labeled as 6 right now, is going to have to cut over here anyways, which isn't very effective. So rather than that, we should be calling ice, usually. But then ice doesn't work too well in this situation. So then we have ice sideline, where this person sets up, everyone shuffles back, and this person clears out, 5 comes in. And rather than trying to hit the sideline, the far break side sideline over there, that's a really hard throw over here. This is really hard. Rather, I don't know if this is going to make sense to you, but rather, after the player labeled as 6, after they cut in, we could hit them here, or after they clear out, we could hit them here. And then this person comes in. So there's this triangle sideline action that tends to go on. If that doesn't happen, we always have our handlers to go upline. Oh no, that person disappeared. Our handlers go upline. Lots of things to do here. But in general, that we want to be in this vertical stack in this position. I don't know what's happening there. Ignore most of that. So if we talk about Angel, though, what's the purpose of Angel? Angel is to clear it out of our end zone. Let's have 1, 2, 3 be over here. So that's a little bit more obvious. 1, 2, 3, 4. Main handler will be 6. Side handlers. Wait, yeah. Oh, wait, no. Main handler will be 5. Let's assume that the frisbee is over here. So, we are trying to get into a zone as soon as possible, right? So, if we are trying to get into a zone, um, we want the cup to be running. I think right now people are too far. We should set up closer to here. So, the goal is to throw it deep, and the cup will be running. So, let's say 5 is JP, 6 and 7 is Pat. 6 is Pat. 7 is Josh. Um, 1 is Thea. 2 is E. 3 is Kendra. 4 is Chantal. Thea is not part of the cup, right? So if actually 4 should be Thea, because when they're going this way, this will be break side, right? So we throw this way, and E, Kendra, and Chantal run, and they all try to get it, but only one of them will be jumping up for the frisbee. The other two are in the area to support. Let's say, let's say 2 is going to catch the frisbee, but if the defender blocks it and bounces it back, 3 is here to support. Or if it goes over the head of 2, 1 is there to support. But oh, it's a turnover. I think when we throw Angel, we should aim to throw it onto this side, right? We should try to catch it here rather than here. Why? Because then we could get a force flick trap in where we have E, Kendra, and Chantal doing their job. And then JP, after throwing it, comes in mid. Josh comes in, and then Pat slides over. And now we're into our defense. And if they get a turnover close by, he could quickly pick it up and throw it to Chantal, or let's say Chantal doesn't get it, he could throw it to Kendra, or if they don't get it, they clear out. Thea comes, goes up the line, she doesn't get it. JP comes, maybe we swing. Kendra does a continuation cut. Lots of things to do from that angel play. Um, do we have? Do I have it lined out here? Wing zone cup? No, I don't really have wings yet. I should make that and put that into the playbook. But yeah, that's a quick snippet about why we play wings. Okay, let's quickly talk about all of this. So, one thing, Josh, you should be doing right now is you shouldn't be having your body face this way. Your body should be, let's make this triangle your head like this. Why? So that if JP throws a floaty throw back here, you could easily come and run into it, which is kind of what he's looking for here. But because your body isn't turned properly, JP can't throw it to you, especially if this person's peels off a lot. Instead of them being over here, let's say they're over here. If your body isn't facing JP properly, you're not ready to receive a pass. But also, if your body's here, you're easily able to run this way or this way, up that way, come back in. But if your body is facing up the field, where's it easy to run? It's easy to run this way, but it's also easy to run there. But there's no point of being able to run there. It's much more effective if you could run here and here. So turn your body, face the sideline, face the handler. And you could kind of see how like you have to turn your body, right? And that kind of allows your defender to like, oh, we'll go to him, right? And then over here, um, you should be attacking the inside over here, right? Not that outside, because on the outside now the defender is between you and the frisbee. And now let's say the frisbee wasn't there, right? Um, E, you should have vision that Josh doesn't have. Right now, Josh can't see you, but you can see him, and you could see that he's created separation on his person. So you should be coming off of that cut. You should leave right there.
Okay, coming in at 6.
Okay, so over there, that flight path isn't. Oh, so look, here's an example of you facing the frisbee, which allows you to go this way, right? And let's quickly
Okay,
look
coming
at
in at
that little move you did. You did a little jab
6.
step. So Josh is here in a neutral position. His defender is also in a neutral position. And taking that little jab sends his defender slightly away. Honestly, that's bad defense by him. And this isn't very realistic. And a good defender wouldn't bite on that. But those little moves help to make separation. But I want to talk about the flight path. If you look at the frisbee is slightly curved down this way rather than curved towards Josh. So, if a mistake happens, this frisbee might end up running away from Josh rather than coming towards him. And we want to make sure that we throw it so that the frisbee always meets our cutter, not runs away from them. And then this works also, but AP, you should notice that, oh, this is floating. I don't know at what point Josh will be able to catch it. So if I run right now, I might end up getting to the sideline. So rather than this route where you run straight, you should take the inside shoulder, get him to ride your hip, and then when you realize it's good to cut, you could go. Okay. So that mistake, there's a little, it kind of originates from your not at ready grip. We talked to E a lot about how this isn't a ready flick, and you transferring from this one-handed position into your flick often causes mistakes that might not get caused if you're in a better home position, right? So that flip is not a good habit to have, which might have caused it to turf here.
Oh, good try. Hey, hey, walk. Deep. Yeah. Good job taking that mark.
Okay, so Pat, yeah, I was gonna say right there, Pat, you have amazing separation on your person. Your person is completely unengaged in the work you're doing.
Good job
So you should just
taking
stay
that mark.
there and play with JP for a little bit, which is
Vert.
exactly what happens. But again, I'm pretty sure the win is coming this way, right? So that means if we throw this way, the frisbee's gonna pop up. But if we throw this way, the frisbee is gonna fall down a little faster.
Vert.
Okay,
Taking
over
that
there,
mark.
Josh, you're not set up well to continue off of Pat. So right now you're thinking, oh, I want to continue off of Pat. I'm going to go towards Pat. No, imagine you're number one in the stack, and then you could make a commitment cut You could do a continuation cut. You could do a side cut because you're number one. Only number one is allowed to do side cuts, like we're doing an ISO in the end zone. But but you don't do that. And then JP, I don't know why you're running up the field unless you expect Josh to fill, right?
Continuation here, here. Good, go.
So good catch over here. Um,
Continuation here, here.
JP, you have an opportunity to go here, but looking for the continuation cut. This is should be our cutter. So Chantel, good job doing that continuation cut. Frisbee's a little bit higher. So we want to make sure that it is at a level that our cutter could catch it. And right here, Chantel, you're trying to do a clap catch, right? But look how close your hand is. If you were to do a a crab catch, right? Crab claw thumbs down catch, rather than the clap catch, you would be able to get a hand on this. But because you're so busy trying to always pancake everything, you don't pancake here. The only area you could pancake is, let's say, space is okay, but you only clap catch in your torso level. By the time it gets to your face, you don't want to clap catch as much. I'm sure a lot of you have felt this. You go to clap catch on your face, but it slips through your hands and hits you in the mouth, right? So it's safer and more effective if you try to catch with your crab claws.
Good, go. Continuation here, here.
And then what is E doing? E is also cutting off, but I don't know why you're here. It doesn't even look like you're in motion. Um,
Good, go.
but good try
Next side, next
getting
side.
back.
Come.
But remember, E, if someone is running in front of you, just like what Josh was doing earlier, it's your responsibility to bail out of the cut. Okay, good cub. Kendra, you could be closer.
Good.
Probably Chantal also.
Pat, that's you. Hey, follow it. Pat,
Good
that's
job
you.
boxing out, Pat. Good job boxing out, but technically that's illegal. So let's talk about rules real quick. When it comes to boxing out, you are allowed to box out as long as you're doing it in attempt to make a play on the frisbee. Uh, I forget the exact term, but I think it's just obstruction. So that's an obstruction violation where, especially as defenders, this happens all the time as a defender. As a defender, if I obstruct you by boxing you out and I don't try to make a play on the frisbee, I just stop you from running where I want you to run while the frisbee is in the air, that is illegal. Same thing if the frisbee is not in the air. I'm just trying to block where you go. That's not allowed, except for if you're already in that spot. Um, for example, let's say you want to run one place, frisbee's not in the air, we're not making a play for the frisbee, and I cut you off, and I'm trying to absorb contact, just like in basketball, with my chest, not my arms. I'm absorbing contact with my chest, not letting you go somewhere. That's okay. But as soon as the frisbee's in the air, that's just obstruction. You're not allowed to do that. I feel like I explained that a little bit poorly.
Good. JP, follow that. Don't stare.
Oh, and then
Pat, that's you. Hey, follow it. JP,
you could hear me saying, "Hey, Josh, Thea, JP, follow that. Don't just stare." Look, frisbee goes up, and all of a sudden, we have three of our best players in La La Land, right? And Pat is left on an
That's
island
you!
to work. If Pat doesn't get this D, now there's two options and there's one Pat, right? We need to follow the frisbee.
John, JP, follow that! Don't stare! Angel, angel, guys!
Okay,
Angel!
so now we this is an angel. So we need I'm not too sure why Thea ran over this way. Because that's really far from the frisbee, even if you're number five. So now we need our horizontal stack.
Angel! Horizontal, we need... Wait!
But
Starts here!
why is everyone
Starts here!
deep
Starts
already?
here!
We start off in a horizontal and then we go. Like this is still a little too far, I think. And why is Thea running? Thea, are you part of the cup? No, you are a mid defender. So it's your role to stay here, assuming because the assumption is always that it's going to be a turnover. If we get the catch, amazing, fantastic. But the assumption will be failure. We need Thea, you to stay here.
Oh my god!
And look, because everyone was too far
Oh my
already,
god!
we are no longer sprinting for the frisbee. That's an amazing throw, by the way, JP. Um, we're no longer sprinting for the throw. We're waiting for it. Right? We don't want to wait for it. We want to sprint to it. Let's talk about this read right here. I feel like there's a lot more to talk about on this one rather than the last one. Frisbee currently is right here. So I like the fact that it's gonna land on this side so that we could force flick. That's great, like I talked about earlier. Um, but it's pretty obvious E doesn't have a good read on this one because it's coming back in here. Um, and then it forces him to turn around. And then also Thea doesn't have a great read on it. That girl probably had the best read on it. But Thea, sky her. Like if you're there, posterize her. At least try, at least jump. And then Kendra ends up overshooting. She ends up running past where it's gonna fall. And then Chantel comes back in and curls in, but I'm guessing because of the bobble, is unable to follow because this girl touches it and the slight bobble, and I'm guessing it disorients Chantal.
JP, nice try, nice try!
I think
Good,
ideally
good,
that
good,
should have
good!
been Kendra's, but Kendra ended up overshooting it.
JP, great throw!
But those are just things that you need to continue playing, continue seeing the frisbee, and now look, Thea ends up having to backpedal, right? So not backpedal, but she has to end up coming back to defend rather than she was already there, she could come and help easily. And then if you notice, Thea was closer to here. She should be number four, so that since she's break side defender, she ends up where she needs to be anyways. It's all about efficiency, right? I want all of you to be amazing athletic freaks, but my spiel, the way I believe we win, is by being smart first, efficient, and then we should be working on our athleticism as we do this. But and then the big concern is athleticism. Okay, looks like we're running on 3-2.
You!
So I don't know what happened there, Josh.
Just as you!
Because that was you. Okay, so you're coming in, your momentum's coming in. You twist, you shoulder check. But at this point, you probably shouldn't be shoulder checking anymore. should just be going up. Like if you jump up, sometimes that's enough to scare people to not being able to pull it down. All right. So then, um, another thing, just like how JP, Thea, and Josh ended up staring, now we have these three in La La Land, right? Now you're staring. As soon as that frisbee goes up, you have to be sprinting down with it, right? Like right now, JP is sprinting down with it, right? So, and Thea, you need to be sprinting down,
Just as you.
right? As soon as that happens, we're sprinting. And then over here,
Just as you.
JP and Pat end up covering the same people. Look, Pat is over here. JP's momentum is going here. There's no one defending this side. So JP, you need to peel off this way while Pat peels off that way. Okay, so Pat, we need to. There was a couple times this tournament where you made this mistake where you just kind of threw it and it ended up going behind the handler, and they didn't even start sprinting. So over here, Josh isn't sprinting down. He already has his momentum, right? It's not like you're throwing now and he starts sprinting at the last second. He's already moving, and it ends up going far behind.
They threw it.
That was close. But I think you're a little bit too no break right here. Just a little bit flatter. Respect this inside throw a little bit more.
They threw it. They threw it.
Then it looks like E, you're following this person right here. But you could see that Josh is doing a no break ideally, so you could scoop in this way. I'm not opposed to it.
The field.
Okay, so I don't like that. So you are running over here, and then you end up clogging this entire area, JB, right? This entire area ends up feeling unusable. So if someone does an in cut over here, now this area feels clogged. So hang back here, right? Let's say you wanted E to hit you right here. At some point, by now, I don't know. Okay, by now you should realize that it's thing, and then you abandon it. So it seems like that's what we do. But I'm not a fan of that cut. It's doable. It's doable. Um, but I'm just not a fan of it. And then uh, you do that horizontal cut. I think EU could have broken it. Make tell this person you don't exist to me, and just break him. But then I see that Pat did a deep cut, and this person did a good job cutting off the backhand. So I understand why I didn't throw to Pat. And then Pat does a good job filling. And Thea does a good job doing a continuation cut over there.
Yeah.
Okay, now someone has a continuation cut there, and I see that Chantel is starting to a continuation cut there.
Yeah.
But that big loopy pass, be careful about that. Right now, you're asking us to do 50-50s every now and then. And Chantel, you did a good continuation
Yeah.
cut, but E has this, so you abandon, and you could actually turn this into a continuation cut going up the line. If but it's 50-50s. We don't want to ask our players to constantly do 50.
JP, I want you in the stack. JP in the stack. Thea, stay back. Thea, handle. Clear, clear, clear.
So, what I want to do, let's assume that we still have our 7 players, our top 7. I kind of want to have. Um, uh, oh, I don't get it here. Sad. Never mind. Um, I kind of want to. What's happening? Oh, I need to turn this off. I kind of want to. Let's say we have our field here. That's a terrible fluid. So I kind of want Josh to pick up. I want Thea to be side handler. I want. Who do I want to be front? Maybe I want E to be front, JP to be 5, JP to be 5, Pat to be 4, Kendra to be 2, Chantel to be 3. Wait, why am I putting 3? Chantel to be 3. And the rules will be for Thea to be the continuation cut for our handlers. I want Josh to pick up and distribute. I want E to be doing fills. I want JP to be the initiating cutter, Pat to be a continuation cutter and the deep threat, Chantel to be a continuation cutter and deep threat, um, I want Kendra to be the continuation cutter and then the ISO. I think this is ideally what I want. Because right now we're struggling with cutters, right? And sure, JP and E are good handlers, but imagine having JP cuts in, Josh throws to JP, and then let's say, I don't know, E goes up the line to E, and then Pat goes deep. I see something like that happen. Or let's say we have, let's say, different situation. Josh, Thea goes up the line, and then Chantel does an in cut, and then Kendra continuation cut. Something like that. I feel like uh, that would be a good system for our power line.
Oh no. Oh no. What?
Wait, what?
Oh no.
Not a good look. What are we forcing? Why are we forcing that?
Oh no.
We don't throw elevators into traffic. Because elevators are the easiest thing to 50-50, right? Why are we 50-50ing?
Yeah.
Especially when, so after a layout, most of the time after a layout, you're hyped, you're hurt, you can't think straight. You need to make sure that after a layout, you do the most sensible, high percentage thing. Never take a risky throw after a layout. because you're mentally not ready to make a risky throw. That could be swing it. Give even if you're the best handler after laying out, if you don't feel perfectly calm and that you're gonna make the high percentage throw, just swing it even to the second rate, third rate, fourth rate, maybe not fourth rate handler, because that would be Michael on our team, right? Swing it to Josh and E, because right there, I don't know if Blessy was open. Yeah, it's a little bit trafficy right there. Remember, we'll see. Wait till Kendra completely leaves. Kendra, you did a good cut, but JP was not ready to throw, so you did a good job clearing out. And then Bliss, you did the continuation cut after, but you didn't wait until Kendra completely left, which left the defender in the area, so JP would never throw that.
Oh,
But we're not even on a high stall count, right? And Pat was doing the cross cut. That has to be to the opposite corner. Why is it ending up in the middle? Who are you throwing to?
oh no.
What?
Nice try. Nice steal, Pat. I like that. Steal, Pat. I like that.
E, who are you currently on? Is the person behind the play? I'm guessing that's what's happening.
Ice!
This needs to be hit earlier. I want Thea to catch it here, not down here. Like she's been open for so long, and she almost abandoned the cut. She should be abandoning the cut where she is. So
Ice, guys!
this is great by Thea. She looks to abandon a little bit past the front of the end zone, the stack, right? So she's already slowing down, thinking, "Oh, I'm not gonna get it," but then it's thrown, and then she has to reaccelerate. Luckily, she had so much separation on her person that it doesn't matter. But we need to hit them while they're still in the stack area, not past the stack area.
Yeah, Tia.
Um,
Yeah.
so this person is really thing not letting that go. So sure, I don't mind the fact that EU stayed there and then left it to JP. Missed throw. So over there, JP, I want you to watch this. Just handlers in general, just throwers in general. So this is home position, fine, right? But then why is the frisbee traveling upside down as you're getting ready to throw? No, have it ready to throw the entire way. Make sure that it's properly set up so that you could throw it and there's no random wiggling in the frisbee. If the frisbee has to flip, sure, there's the see throw and everything, but there's no see throw of backhand, right? We don't do that flip. And if we do that flip, that's in specific situations. It's never in a huck. In a huck, we want very specific mechanics. And the more weird movement you introduce into throwing, the more likely you are to mess up slightly in some way. And that could show in the fact that it tilts wrong, or it doesn't float well, it comes off wrong, it comes off early, right? The spin isn't good. So we need to make sure that we're locked in on that throwing.
It's okay.
Right? That's why I'm always on E. That's why I'm always on JP about those throws. Right? And that home position is so important.
I have no idea.
There's no way we'll be destroying these guys. Bro, who's on? We'll be destroying these guys.
So yes, Kendra, you're backing your girl, but you're giving too much back.
There's no way we'll
Right?
be destroying these
What's the point of backing our person
guys.
if we're that far? So within 2 meters
On.
at most.
Okay.
Pat.
Bro, who's on?
Oh my God.
Okay.
Pat.
And then broken. and then pad you have to close out on.
Okay.
Uh, you're either scooping hard or you're closing out hard. But right now you did neither, and they got a backhand.
They can't make it. Oops.
And then I have a feeling mechanics here, JP. Fine. Heel strike. I'm guessing it's because you're starting the turn, but still. And you're really low. You shouldn't be low anymore. How many steps have you
Oh,
taken?
who's on? Oh my god. Okay.
One, two, three. You should be popping up now. Four, five, six. More heel strikes. Seven more heel strikes. Eight, nine. You're leaning over way too much.
Oh my god. Okay.
And also, if we can, let's say we're going to protect deep and we don't have a good read yet. Because it's really hard to get a read immediately, right? So JP's over here, right? There's a girl over here, and there's a girl over here. This one's JP. JP, it looks like you're slightly moving this way. This is a little exaggerated, but your momentum is traveling slightly to one side. We don't want to do that because if we did a wrong read, to curl back the other way is very difficult. What's better is just like with our deep cut, when you don't have a good read yet, start off initially, your first few steps, start off going straight deep, and now it's much easier to slightly twist left. Sorry, I went right for some reason. Go left or right after the fact that you got a good read, especially since it's a hook. If it's obvious that the frisbee is going over here, are you going to do this? No. But the frisbee was kind of traveling here. It's so possible for it to turn and curve that way. So start off by going straight deep and then adjust your path as you go. If you're going diagonally and then you need to go this way, you basically did a 90-degree cut. But if you're going straight back and then you go, let's do the same way, go this way, just wait, let's say 45 degrees, okay? 45 degrees. Those are the same angle, more or less. If you're going slightly this way, now you did a 90-degree cut. But if you're going straight back, that's a 45-degree cut. And this is so much easier to do than this. So don't make that mistake.
They can't make it. Oops.
And of course, when I'm talking about all this, this isn't the result doesn't matter. It's the process that matters.
Oh.
Okay. Um I understand what's happening there, but there is a bit of an issue. Um when you're running for a long time for an in cut and then you end up having the peel, that's pretty difficult. So JP didn't have to pick up, but then because he saw E open, he decided to take it, and sure, it's a good decision. But the cut in itself is a weaker decision. Let's say that the frisbee is over here, and you as a handler are all the way over here, and you sprint down to get it. You have a lot of momentum, and now your defender has momentum, which makes it a difficult catch and an easier block because it's obvious what's happening. But if the frisbee is here and you're here, yes, I talk about having a long runaway. So we don't want it to be too close, right? But we want it to not be too far for these in cuts to make it easier to catch and easier to read. Um, this is more of an advanced rule. So let's say you started off from here and you did that in cut. Terrible. You're way too close. You don't have a runway. Let's say you came off screen, now you have too much of a runway. Ideally, let's say you jog up to here and then you put a move or you do a stop cut and then you go, this would be much more likely to succeed, right? So you're jogging, we have time, assuming we have time, stop cut, sorry, we're jogging, stop cut, delay, right? You kind of do a hezi and then you go, you're more likely to get it. You don't have too much speed that it's hard to catch, and you have better separation on your defender, and you feel unpredictable.
Oh, two hands, two hands.
No break.
Oh my
Nice.
god!
JP stack. JP in the stack.
Just think I noticed something. So talking about mechanics, this is a jog, so it doesn't count as much. Uh, I was noticing that Kendra was heel striking, and then I'm not too sure. No, it was okay. So I saw that over here. I noticed that Blissey was on the balls of her feet right there. Oh, there's a good one. Okay, so here, let's look at Blissey's steps. So there's an example of a uh, good foot strike, and there's two different examples of bad foot strikes. So let's use let's use this. So let's look at Blissey's foot right over here. As it goes and it strikes the ground, she does a heel strike. This is jogging, so it doesn't matter as much if you're jogging. But when it comes to sprinting, these mechanics are huge. These are really important. So when when we sprint, we never want a heel strike, which is what Blissey shows here. The heel is the first thing to hit the ground, right? It sends shock waves of the leg. It's more of a braking mechanic. That's not good. And then Blissey does the opposite. Look at this next foot. Blissey is pointing her toe and reaching in front of her body and landing on the still the balls of the feet, but it's more what you call the toes. You're landing on your toes. So first mistake is the heel strike. This is sprinting, not in this situation where Blissey's jogging. Heel strike, which is bad. And then the next footstep is a toe strike. Look how she reaches her toes. The first point of contact, right there, her tippy toes, is in front of her hips. We want to land below our hips. And then this last one is pretty good actually. Look, she's not pointing her toes. It could be more dorsiflexion, but she's landing closer to the balls of her feet, and that point of contact is much closer to her hip. And so I was noticing that, and then this one is a little bit of heel strike, doesn't matter as much. But I was noticing, I saw that third one, and I'm like, wait, does Blissey have good mechanics? And then looking back at it, it's like, oh no, it just kind of happened to go there. But mechanics are huge. They make you genuinely faster. Before Justin came to this tournament, we were working on a sprint, and he felt so much faster. E used to be a very slow player, and now he's one hell of an athlete and has super clean form, right? Um, it's such a big thing. Michael is starting to become playable, even though he's still slow with that form. Okay, good fill there, Pat. I really like that fill. And that fill is an example of what I was talking about with talking to about that E cut earlier. This is a good amount of runway. This runway is a good distance to get the catch without having too much speed. And then I like how with Pat, JP goes, Pat is waiting. He's patient. He's patient. He's patient. He checks. He looks back, realizes nothing is happening, and then goes. So this move right here is I forget what they call it in basketball. A negative step, right? So that's a very basketball way to start moving. Um, I started introducing the front step rather than the negative step to a couple players. Um, and what Pat did was a move that is very popular in basketball, where it's all about shiftiness and moving the defender. But in that situation, the defender wasn't even looking at Pat, so uh, it translates better to football. Um, and if you want to learn about that first step, you could ask me about it. But more on those mechanics, they're huge. And again, Pat, you're asking E again to do a 50-50. And in fact, because of wind, it's less than a 50-50. I know that it popped up because the wind is coming this way, therefore the frisbee pops up. But we can't have that.
Yeah, Chantel.
Luckily, Chantel bails E out of that. So Chantel was doing that in cut, just like what happened in that last one, where E was going up line and Chantel did the correct thing to do a continuation cut. Same thing here. And luckily, Chantel was able to bail E out thanks to that. What I'm scared of, though, is E going up the line. Oh my god. E going up the line, and then Chantel going down in cut, and then them crashing into each other. Mm. And then E sees Kendra do a continuation cut. So E gets it, looks upfield, and sees Kendra going, hits Kendra. And yes, that's so good. Oh my gosh, those continuation cuts are so powerful.
Give him nothing.
Um, no, nothing on
Give
that.
him nothing.
But where is?
Give him nothing.
It looks like you peeled off to help against someone
Go
else.
right away.
Oh. Yeah. Oh.
Okay, so over here, you, Josh, you see JP pointing. Pat is here. Turn around. Hit Pat earlier.
Yeah.
Angel! Yeah, look at.
Yeah, Hail Mary. Whatever. JP wasn't supposed to be there, but whatever. Whatever works. I guess they do an angel for themselves.
Ew.
Oosh.
Josh.
Yeah, that was
I
close
know.
enough
He
that
went
you had to
flying
take care of
down. I
that.
was like, oh my god.
I like Ross's sunglasses. Good
Angel!
center.
Angel!
Who's that?
Angel!
Who's
Yeah,
that?
and that's basically how we designed Angel. That's fine. And now we need to get the D. So the design of Angel is so that we get the D.
Yeah, hide. There we go. That's exactly what
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we wanted, right? So
Joanne,
now
go.
we made yards without having to bring it up ourselves.
Just go. Just go back. Stack it up.
Don't go on the other side.
Yeah. No.
Let's
They all did
look
it.
at that again.
Yeah.
So that's a issue with the throw,
Yeah.
mostly, I think. What was? How did you choose that though? So it looks like there's enough time, but I think we just need to work more on that break side back. Also, the wind lifted it up, but we need to be able to control that.
Nice run.
No.
It was a nice try.
Nice run.
They all did it.
I'm happy no one got hurt. That's the most important thing for me.
Just stay here. Yeah. Just take it. Just take it.
Okay, E, don't let him do that.
Great job. Great job. Up, up. Back to there.
Go, John. Go on. Go, 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 go,
Okay,
go. Stack it.
Kelly, I thank you, E, for not running right away, and we need to gravitate away, push away, so that we could attack in after. If we stay here without pushing, our runway is so much smaller.
Go stack it. And go on. Go, go,
That
go, 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 go.
you
Stack
probably
it. Go
should have hit
stack
that.
it.
This that should have been hit, but that's okay. Not
Look
everything
your
is
back.
able to be hit.
Yeah.
There you go. Nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look at your back.
good patience, and then E, it's obvious that you're
Yeah.
next. So
Go. Nice one.
yeah, that worked. That's
Yeah.
perfect. And then Kendra's there to help after.
Yeah.
But let's say E wasn't in. Kendra, you're a little bit too early, assuming we need another.
Yeah. Oh.
And I know Pat commented Kendra doesn't want these, but it's important for all of us to know how all of us play, right? And that even if they don't put in the effort of watching these to get better, at least maybe
Oh my
you
God.
oh my god, we could oh my god, it's such a good thing. At least we could help them also. Who was that for? I want to look at the head. So I see Josh's head is on JP. That was for JP. So remember, when we're throwing for upline, we want to put outside in on it. But luckily, we also saw that Justin was already in motion. Okay, so Justin catches it. JP is still there. JP is reading what's happening, notices that it's free, no problem. He has his back, take his back. Justin just pops it up. Yeah. Oops. Okay, is there much we could have done? Because there's times where there's nothing that could have done. Okay, so notice that they tend to throw that backhand on the flick side. That we call it a daddy backhand. So those daddy backhands usually come in low. So this hand should be lower E, right? It should feel more like that, so that you could get the hand in, and then it pops up. Joanne is trying to get it. So Joanne, right now your hand is up, but remember, I tell this to Vincent all the time. We don't run with our arms up like we're giving someone a high five if we're trying to go fast. We run by pumping our arms. So until the frisbee is ready to be hit, because right now this thing is still cooking in the oven, we're not ready to pull that out. We need to wait till it's ready before we take out our cooking mitts and pulling that out. I don't know why I'm doing analogies. What am I doing? But run properly until right now you should be running, 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 and now you could stick that hand out. And then over there. So right now, Pat, you're scooping. So this is good. And then it forces him to take that inside of your body. Right? It happens to sit really nice. And then Jacqueline and Thea are here to make a play. It's sitting, it's sitting, it's sitting. And unfortunately, it's just a matchup thing. Like, there's not too much we could have done about that. Unless you want to do the jump program. Sky here next time.
Look at Pat. It's gone.
Yeah, so those windows, right? Look at Pat, that's gone.
Look at Pat. It's gone.
Right? And sometimes I'm gonna call it, but in reality, the window is already gone. Good up line. Okay, same thing. Goes cause trouble. Same thing, causes trouble, and there's the trouble. And whose fault is that? That's Josh's fault. You need to. What are you doing? Josh, you went up the line for that continuation cut. Sure, whatever. Oh gosh. Yeah, I thought so. Um, you went up the line for that continuation cut, but you need to get out. We're always telling our newer players, "I'll clear out," and uh, our more advanced players like you always help me to remind them clear out. Yet this is completely because what? Why are you trying to go back? What do you see? Look at your road. There's nowhere to drive. And you're continuing to go, and you have vision on Pat. You brought in an extra defender, and Pat does a good job getting up there and securing it. Oh, he doesn't actually. It wasn't even the defense. It could have been the pressure. But still, I don't I don't get upset at you for dropping it, right? Like Pat, whatever, it happens. But I get upset at that decision.
Oh, that was horrendous right there. I didn't expect it.
Kendra, are you lined up with E? Are you taking away the same area? Of course, get closer, but like, are you lined up? I think Chantel's in a better spot.
It's up. It's up.
And then I talk about this. Um, JP and Pat are going. If let's say Pat, JP is not going to have a good angle at it, right? And he's not going to be able to see you coming because his head is looking behind him a little. But Pat, you have a better vision of it. So if you're able to, try to call JP off. Call mine, say, I got this, whatever communication we want, so that we could avoid injuries. Luckily, both of you are indestructible. But
Let's fix it up.
I feel like I've commented on this already. Have I made a video on this game already? Oh, what? How did he get so open? I think the defenders are just confused. And then, um, I want to shout out Josh. Josh's backhand right here. Before this tournament, Josh was asking me all the time. He was asking for my help, and he threw this throw hundreds of times, and he was really working on this low release backhand. And look, Josh, it's getting to your knee level. We could get it even lower, right? And a little bit more comfortable. But that was good, right? So this is a great example of hard work paying off. And he threw it a couple times. That's the first time I mentioned it. And no, Josh, don't run there. Don't run. And then JP, as you feel that, you should probably shift over here, especially since Josh is doing that. And then Kendra's going, but then she feels Michaela going, and she's like, okay, I'll let Michaela go. And Michaela's able to go. Especially since Kendra's defender is doing a great job on Kendra. She's giving this is Kendra. Kendra's defender is behind this person. She's doing a great job guarding Kendra. And Michaela has the easier matchup. Kendra's like, okay, let me pass this on to someone else. And Kendra's able to get it.
I would love to take pictures.
So over here, There's
I would love
a
to take pictures.
there's no one on you, right? Flip your hip, face Josh, and catch this.
Nice, JP. Angel! Look up, look up! Kendra!
That's not Kendra. That's not Kendra. That's not Kendra.
Hey, Kendra, you need to
That's
clear out
not
there.
Kendra.
Clear out, clear out, clear out, clear out, clear out. All of you. S- No, 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 no.
Kendra. That's
Thea,
not Kendra.
Kendra, do you have a runway right now? Is there any space that gives you enough time to cut and be hit? No. So you continue to clear out. You don't move back here.
Get out.
And E also no. Just this way. Go there, E. And now Josh was there waiting patiently,
Get out
right?
of there.
Waited for Thea, waited for Kendra, waited for E. And now he goes. But E was still in that area and that guy almost gets a play on Josh. No.
Nice! Ooh.
Bless you,
Then
bless
on
you.
the back
He doesn't have a
end.
flick at all.
Oh,
Okay, they didn't get it, but that's a call for sure.
oh, I zoomed in for nothing. Oops. That's my mistake.
That guy only has a backhand.
I know.
We should really capitalize.
That's fine.
Up!
JP!
That's whatever.
Really capitalize.
Okay, over there. Let's look at the mechanics. So it's going. It's a little bit of a weird read. So one thing we don't want to do. Look at JP's body. He's nice and he's up, but this is for 2 foot jumping. 1 foot jumping is different. 2 foot jumping, usually you want to get low. 1 foot jumping, you usually stay pretty high. But 2 foot jumping, you need to get low to come up. But like a spring, if you maybe you won't understand this, but like a spring, if you compact it and let go quickly, it bounces higher than if you push it down and hold it down for a long time. So if you look at JP right now, he's up and then he gets low and he's low for such a long period of time. Look, he's walking, he's doing a duck walk. Low. And then he's slowly shifting up. He's downstairs in the basement and he's slowly walking up the stairs instead of jumping up to the balcony. And you lose a lot of height because of that. Stay tall until it's time to jump. Just like we don't run with our arms up, we don't get ready to jump our highest by starting low. We start high, explode down, explode up, which is hard timing wise, but mechanics wise, we get so much more out of it. So we don't want to be down there. I have no
That's
idea
you.
what that throw was.
I know. At all.
Well, I call them moon throws.
Why is he? Whatever. I wish we had more film of this now because yeah, cutting is huge. Like hit or in cuts. Look how much yardage we could get if we hit Thea right now. The in cut is the first option. Great, one throw, and we're in power position. Amazing, we could throw deep. But we could have got 3-4 times the amount of distance. And we're learning trying to be efficient.
Homing missile!
Yes,
Oh my
sir.
god!
Such a good throw. But we need to learn how to do that as a team
Let's watch. I got distracted.
and as individual players.
What were you doing?
I was cracking.
I know.
Right? We can't build a weapon without using it. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Did she just pass it to herself?
Yeah.
Yeah, she can't do that. I was like, what's happening? She caught her pass.
What's she
Ugh.
doing?
Ooh, wait a second. That's a nice throw.
Nice
Yeah,
throw,
I can
yeah.
draw.
So Kendra, one thing I want you to do here. I'm not gonna yell at you
Yeah,
for the mistro, but I want you to just take a glance. Take a glance. See what's happening upfield. Can you throw it to someone? Oh, Vincent. Maybe you're not comfortable. That's fine. At least you took a glance. And then here's the mistake. If someone's running here, we throw to space. We don't throw at them.
Papa!
I don't know. I said flat. That was not supposed to be flat. I like caught myself before I said it. I
Yeah.
forgot this guy can't flick at all. Like
Oh,
normally,
they're
if
forcing
you're looking
backhand.
you can call it flat.
This might go.
No, no, no.
There's the continuation. Thiago, not a good route.
Forget it.
Someone create a threat! Oh?
No way.
It's fine.
Oh my
Whatever.
God. Good luck, guys!
Oh, I gotta go to work. How much time do I have left? Oh, we could blaze through it.
No backhand!
Wrong way, Esther.
After other way.
Broken.
Big man, big man.
Michael, we need to work on your jump. You didn't jump at all there.
Great threats, guys! Great job, Thiago.
And Thiago, why are you only looking for Michael?
Yeah.
Look for someone else. Michael's gotten really good, but he's not your only target.
Watch that.
Get in front of him, Michael.
Kind of hands. Instead. Vincent, you fell asleep.
Ain't nobody no pipe for real. Justin.
Ooh, it's fine. It happened.
Who's that? Joanne.
I'm pretty sure she was out of bounds there.
Just don't backhand, no backhand. Good. Stay like that. Great job, Anthony. Great job.
Good shit.
Okay, let's see.
Stack it up. Stack it. Ice.
Good job, Esther.
Wait,
But again, our goal is what is the stack? Don't we're not here to cuddle each other. Give each other space. And Esther, look, you came from number 2, number 3, and what ends up happening? Sure, we get it, but the goal of the in cut is not just to give it to a cutter. The goal of the in cut is to make distance. So, as handlers and cutters, we don't cut much more past the stack, and we try to get as much distance as possible. We didn't make any distance. We made 1 meter, and we got closer to the side. That's not helpful. And Jaron, don't spam those rockers. That's your arms are by your side wiggling.
Yeah, Michael!
I'm getting a little.
Michael, yours! Michael, yours! Oh, that works!
Doesn't work.
Look for a deep threat here!
Anthony.
Can you hit that, Michael? Wrong side, I think. And earlier, hit those earlier. And that's the mechanics I'm talking about. Justin's speed there is because we were working on mechanics and he put in the work. And you can see how excited I am.
No, Joanne, go.
Yeah, we need to hit Joanne earlier. And it has to always be catchable. Remember, when you throw for in cuts, it's always catchable. It never goes too high.
That was a good play.
It was a good try.
That was better spacing. Rapid. Ow. What? Okay, good job standing, hitting.
You wait.
Back to the handler if
You wait,
possible. Michael, this is
Michael.
your job. Michael, your job. Was that a strip? No, it wasn't a strip. That was Anthony's fault. Anthony pivot.
Who's that?
Good job, Justin.
I don't know. Busted beats. Busted beats.
Oh my god!
And then you guys repeat the same thing.
It's okay.
Justin to Jaron on that same move.
Hold
I mean, it
on.
could have been to Anthony, but instead, Jaron goes for that. Anyways, I have to go to work. Good job, Marys. We'll look at another one later on. Bye.